Do you have a VTEC?
Repap!
VTEC Club.
Right guys, this is the first episode. This is just a trial to see how comfortable I feel driving and talking at the same time. I thought to call this series B-Road Talk, because on my way to job, to work, there's a nice B-road, depending if there's roadworks or not, because there's always roadworks in B-roads, it's one of them. So again, I'm on my way to work, so what I'm gonna talk in this series is something that we probably can discuss. So basically I'm gonna talk about my favorite mods on the FN2. I'll do a top 3, mainly because I've got a few mods, but I think if I just change to top 3, it gets a bit more interesting, so to speak. And the plan is, I want you guys to tell me what is your top 3 and leave a suggestion for what we should talk in the next B-Road talk, because I mean we are interacting with each other. And the way I'm gonna try to do this is basically the person with more likes in the comments, that's gonna be what I'm gonna be talking about. So let's say that person says that let's talk about insurance, and if that comment gets most of the likes, the next theme or subject is going to be about insurance. Again, today's talk is going to be about my top 3 mods. Please bear in mind this is my own opinion, so obviously everyone is entitled to have their favorite mods. It's hard to tell because obviously I haven't tried everything imaginable for the FN2, because there's so much bespoke stuff in the market, so I can only relate to the stuff that I got in the car and installed in the car, because I've got a few mods that are in my waiting list to be fitted, and probably they will supersede my top 3. One of them definitely is going to supersede the top 3. So I'll start with number 3. So number 3 is going to be a remap. So even if you are stock, and let's face it, with NA cars, chasing figures is really hard. That's why you shouldn't be actually chasing figures. You should basically see where is the power band is, because stock cars, the power band is very high RPM, so you don't have much in mid-range. With the map, obviously you can change different things, like when VTEC engages, or what RPM the VTEC engages. You can correct the mid-range and stuff like that. Currently you got 2 reliable options in the market. You can either ask your tuner to tune it with ECU Tech or on data. So on data has been in the market for just for the FN2 basically for, let's say, 7-8 years already. So that's where basically everything started, was with the on data. There was not much around for these cars. I think 5-6 years ago ECU tech started to kick in. So again, I don't have much experience with ECU tech. I'm running on data Flash Pro, but from what I could read, ECU tech is much more advanced and gives you a bit more options, especially with app. So on app you can basically switch between maps. So you got switchable maps. The only downside of that is you need to have the GT model of the FN2, because you need the cruise control, I think, to change maps or settings. But again, I'm not an expert on this, so correct me if I'm wrong. On data, it's been, as I said, in the market for quite a lot of time, and I mean, it is still, in my opinion, a good way to access your car. I mean, in the States, that's what they use on data, even for the new generations of Type R, the FK8. Again, I still think it's a brilliant software. And the thing is, if you are like someone like me that now and then likes to plug the on data to the laptop and do some logs to see how the car is performing regarding intake temperatures, AFR, coolant temperatures, then I think it's a good alternative. I know you can always run an OBD scanner and just download an app like Torque, and you'll have exactly the same figures. But I think the on data is more accurate. Bear in mind, it's exactly the same sensors. I think the reading is slightly better. I think I saw a post on CVinfo, someone comparing Torque GT with the on data, and the difference were quite reasonable. So there we go. So my top three. So my number 3 on top 3 is doing a map. Again, that will change the car's behavior, and even if you're stuck, you will feel it. Now it's up to you to decide where you get your car map. The only thing I will say, just don't go to people that say, oh, we'll put a ship and you get 10 brake horsepower straight away. That's not gonna happen. So if you see someone advertising 10, 15 or even more, I saw someone advertising stage 2 20 bhp. It was not in the UK, it was somewhere else. But no, on any car, just forget it. Just forget it. It's not gonna happen. You got quite reliable companies around. I mean, you heard obviously about the Dino Days, Dan and Rich, and they do a brilliant job. And one of the things you want to look out is basically how regularly does your tuner tunes cars like yours, like the FN2 or the K20. So you got Dino Days, you got Paul, which is probably the person who's been more in the business, longer in the business for N2, so it's called the uncle of tuning these cars. He also has a company called TP Engineering, where he provides flashed ECUs, and which is other way to do it as well. And you also have Jesse, from J. Cole, which also has been mapping quite a lot of these cars. Right, I think I'm going to open the window, because this is a good straight. Love it. So So yeah, so number 3 is a map. Number 2, right. Number 2 is what I think is where this car struggles most, which is braking. So I am running DC5 Brembos brake calipers with the M-Tech discs, and I'm also running Perodo DS2500 pads, and the improvement was massive. Don't get me wrong, when these stock brakes work, it's fine. The problem with the stock brakes is with the time they start to seize, the rubber starts to perish, and then you start having big problems with these. So even if you refurb them, which I've done, you're always gonna have a few problems with it. So you got you got so many choices. You got LSP 6-pot and 4-pot. You got again DC5 Brembos. You got the Renault Megane and Clio Brembos with the adapters, I think from Freaky Parts. And if you think about it, it's not that expensive. Plus, it's one of the best mods you can buy. And let's face it, you want your car to brake properly, because otherwise, if you get into a tricky situation, you are done, basically. So before going big power, you need to think about braking. So that's my recommendation for number 2. Finally, the mod that I think is my number 1 on my top 3 right now is the WHITELINE rear anti-roll bar. And I was gonna tell you why. Is for how much this costs, I think they are brilliant. It transformed the car. It's basically night and day. I'm not running in the hardest setting because I can't even run it because I got the 3-inch exhaust and basically the bar touched the exhaust. So to prevent that, I just went to one setting down. So honestly, the car feels much better. In bends is unbelievable. It's much more tight. I'm also running 17s, and I've tried with 18s, and but trust me, it's probably the best mod you can have. And let's face it, you can go big power, but if you're not putting the power down, or if you're going on a bend and you're not gonna putting all the power down, why going big power if you're not upgrading your handling stuff? So I'm running also now coilovers, and I felt the improvement, but I still need to dial the coilovers a bit better. So I'm gonna ask a professional to have a proper alignment on it, and a proper set it up properly, because I've done it myself basically. Here I am, and I'm basically at work. So to wrap this up again, number 3 is mapping, number 2 is the brakes, and number 1 is the WHITELINE or any bigger anti-roll bar. I think Auto Racing also does, but Auto Racing 1 is not adjustable, so the WHITELINE 1 is adjustable, which is the good thing about it. So you can, if you're using it as a daily like me, you can put it one setting. If you want to go to a track day and you want as tight as possible, you can put it in the hardest, and I think that's brilliant. And it took me what, 2 to 3 hours to install it, but that's me on my driveway, where I can't put it on a lift or anything. So that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this kind of videos. So don't forget to let me know what are your favorite top 3 mods, and let me also know what you guys want to discuss in the next B-Road Talk. So that's it from me. Hope you guys enjoy it and stay cool. Sure.